What if I told you that the only reason you are holding a smartphone, stressing over your English homework, and living in a world dominated by American pop culture is all because of the dating habits of a single woman who lived 500 years ago? Psych, no. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is the butterfly effect on steroids. Welcome to your life. You are Elizabeth. History class probably taught you that you were the Virgin Queen, a saintly figure who sacrificed her happiness to marry her country. A white-faced, boring old lady in a dress that looks like a lampshade. Sound effect. Glass shatter. Record scratch. Wake up, buddy. That was the greatest marketing scam in human history. The reality, you were the ultimate trap girl. You were the original gaslight gatekeep girl boss. You turned the entire continent of Europe into a massive friend zone. You kept the most powerful kings in the world on read for 40 years just to keep your job. But before we spill the tea on your toxic love life, let's drop the ultimate plot twist right now. You aren't just a queen, you are the accidental architect of the modern world. Let's connect the dots. Dot number one, why you speak English. In 1588, the Spanish Empire sent a massive fleet, the Armada, to delete England from the map. If you had lost, game over. England becomes a Spanish colony. The English language dies out and becomes a weird peasant dialect nobody cares about. But you won thanks to some luck and a hurricane. That victory cleared the ocean for the British Navy to conquer the globe. The logic, because you won that fight, English became the global language. You're struggling with the SATs or IELTS right now? Thank Elizabeth. Without her, Elon Musk would probably be tweeting in Spanish. Dot number two, the blueprint of America. Do you know who the U.S. state of Virginia is named after? It's named after the Virgin Queen. That's you. You were the angel investor who funded the explorers and pirates to sail to North America. You gave the green light for the first colonies. Think about it. No Elizabeth protecting the seas, wow, right arrow. No British colonies, wow, right arrow. No 13 colonies, wow, right arrow. No United States of America. Basically, Donald Trump, Hollywood, Silicon Valley, and the entire concept of the American dream, they all owe you a royalty check. Dot number three, the monster of capitalism. In the year 1600, you signed the birth certificate for the East India Company. You think Amazon or Google are powerful today? That's cute. The East India Company was their grandfather. It was a corporation that had its own private army, could mint its own money, and literally ruled entire countries. You planted the seed for global capitalism. The modern political mirror, and looking at your leadership style, does it look familiar? You are the original populist. You were MAGA long before red hats existed. You knew you were aging, balding, and losing your teeth, but you created the brand of Gloriana, an ageless goddess. You used personal branding like a weapon. Look at modern politicians holding rallies. You did that in the 16th century at Tilbury, giving speeches to hype up the crowd, creating an us versus them mentality. You taught the world a valuable lesson: facts don't matter, feelings do. The surveillance state, and let's not forget, you invented the modern spy network. Your spy master, Francis Walsingham, was reading people's mail and torturing suspects long before the NSA or the CIA existed. You created the first surveillance state. Privacy in your England that didn't exist. So, how did an illegitimate daughter rejected by her father, threatened with execution by her sister, flip the script to become the most powerful woman in history? How did you survive a royal version of Squid Game to build the world we live in today, to understand the trauma and the glory we have to rewind the tape? Back to where the nightmare began. Let's hit rewind. Chapter 1, The Unwanted Child. You are born in 1533, and let's be real, your birth was a scam. Your father, King Henry VIII, the toxic fat guy from our last video, broke the church and tore the country apart to marry your mom, Anne Boleyn. Why? Because he wanted a son, a Chad, an alpha heir, and then, boom, out you pop, a red-headed baby girl. Henry looked at you like you were a losing lottery ticket. Childhood trauma level maximum. When you are not even 3 years old, your dad chops your mom's head off. The charges: adultery, incest, treason. All fake, by the way. Overnight, you go from princess to bastard. You are stripped of your title. You are kicked out of the royal circle. Imagine this. Your dad killed your mom, and then you have to watch him cycle through 4 stepmothers. You watch them die, get divorced, or get beheaded. You learn the most important lesson of your life before you even hit puberty. Marriage is a death sentence for women. While other kids are playing with dolls, you are learning Latin, Greek, French, and the art of keeping your mouth shut. You become a genius observer because you know that one wrong word means you lose your head. Squid Game, the sister edition. Dad dies. Your little brother Edward takes the throne, but he logs off early at age 15. Now the real nightmare begins. Your half sister takes the throne, Mary I, aka Bloody Mary. Mary is a hardcore Catholic. You are the symbol of Protestantism. Mary hates your guts because your mom was the other woman who ruined her life. She throws you into the Tower of London. This isn't a timeout. This is death row. You are sitting in a cold cell entering through the traitor's gate. You can hear the executioner sharpening his axe. What if Mary had signed the death warrant that day history ends? We'd all be speaking Spanish. But you activate your superpower gaslighting. You write letters to Mary. You play the innocent, dumb little sister role perfectly. You convince her you are harmless. You manipulate your way out of execution. And in 1558, Mary dies either from cancer or a phantom pregnancy. Jackpot. The crown falls onto your head. You are 25 years old. England is bankrupt. The army is a joke. The country is divided by religion. Disease is everywhere. Every man in Europe is laughing. The betting odds are against you. They say, this little girl won't last 6 months. Do you think so? Hold my beer. The show is just getting started. Chapter 2. Tinder in the 16th century. The second your butt hits the throne, the parliament and your advisors, a bunch of mansplainers, start screaming, get married. Their logic, you are a woman. Your brain is too small to rule. You need a big, strong man to tell you what to do. Plus, you need to pop out a baby heir immediately. But you have big brain energy. You look at the history of your family. Conclusion. Marriage equals loss of power. If you marry an English noble, you start a civil war between rival families. If you marry a foreign king, England becomes a colony and you become a trophy wife. Once you put a ring on it, you are no longer the CEO. You are the assistant. Game over. So what do? You decide to play hard to get. You turn yourself into the ultimate prize. You realize that the promise is stronger than the truth. As long as you remain single, every king in Europe wants to impress you. They won't attack England because they think they might be able to marry you and get England for free. The Elizabeth Warwick simp list. 1. King Philip II of Spain, your ex-brother-in-law. The most powerful man in the world. He wants to marry you to control England. You accept his gifts, you flirt in letters, but you leave him on read for years. You friendzone the most dangerous man on the planet. 2. Prince Eric of Sweden. He sends you crates of gifts. You smile, bat your eyelashes, and say, maybe later. 3. The Duke of Anjou, France. You call him your little frog. You make out with him in public to scare the Spanish. You pretend you are madly in love. Then once the peace treaty is signed, you ghost him. The toxic situationship, and then there is Robert Dudley. This is your crush, the bad boy, your childhood friend. He's tall, dark, and handsome, but he's a walking red flag. He's already married, and then his wife falls down the stairs and breaks her neck. Super sus, right? Your heart wants him, but your brain knows that marrying him would be political suicide. So you keep him as your simp lord for decades. You keep him close enough to keep him loyal, but far away enough to keep your reputation clean. Is it toxic? Absolutely. Is it effective 100%? You sacrificed your love life to keep your crown. You married your job. Chapter 3. Sister versus Sister, the Blood Edition. Every reality show needs a villain. Yours is Mary, Queen of Scots. Mary is your antithesis. You Protestant, single, cold, logical. Mary Catholic, married 3 times, emotional mother of a son. Mary is a pick-me girl who thinks she deserves your throne. She literally has the royal logo embroidered on her pillows. She's obsessed with taking your job. But Mary is bad at the Game of Thrones. She gets involved in a plot to blow up. Her husband gets chased out of Scotland by her own people and runs to England to ask you for help. This is the ultimate dilemma. What if you let her go, she goes to France and raises an army to kill you? What if you kill her, you confirm that queens can be executed, setting a dangerous precedent? So you choose the middle ground. You lock her up in a luxury hotel house, arrest for 19 years. But Mary won't stop plotting. She sends encrypted letters to assassins. She tries to organize a coup. Finally, your spymaster Walsingham catches her in 4K resolution. He intercepts the letters. You have the proof. You have to sign the death warrant. Trigger warning, body horror. Mary is beheaded, but the executioner is nervous. The first swing misses and hits the back of her head. The second swing cuts the neck but not the tendon. He has to saw through it. When he lifts her head up to show the crowd, her wig falls off, revealing gray short hair. It is a gruesome, messy end. You cry fake tears, you blame your secretary. But the message is sent. You come at the queen, you best not miss. The boss fight, the Spanish Armada, 1588. Philip II, the guy you friend-zoned, has had enough. He is furious about Mary, a Catholic, being killed. He is furious that you played him. He launches the Armada, the invincible fleet. This is David versus Goliath. Spanish ships are floating castles. English ships are tiny dinghies. If you lose, England is erased. You don't hide in a bunker. You put on silver armor over your dress. You ride a white horse to Tilbury. You deliver the mic drop speech of the millennium. I know I have the body of a weak and feeble woman, but I have the heart and stomach of a king. The miracle. The English ships are fast and annoying hit-and-run tactics, but the real MVP, the weather. A massive hurricane, the Protestant wind sweeps through the channel. The Spanish ships are smashed against the rocks of Ireland. They sink. Thousands drown. Philip loses. You win. England transforms from a broke island into the queen of the seas. Real talk, if that storm didn't happen, you'd probably be headless. But history is written by the lucky, and you are the luckiest gambler in Europe. Chapter 4. The Instagram Reality. You won the war, but you are losing the battle against time. You are aging, and for a woman whose power relies on being the object of desire, aging is terrifying. You refuse to let anyone see the real you. You invent the mask of youth. You paint your face with Venetian ceruse, a mixture of vinegar and white lead. The consequence? The lead slowly poisons you. It eats your skin, turning it gray and pitted. It makes your hair fall out. You are addicted to sugar, a sign of wealth. Your teeth turn black and rot out of your head. You have to stuff rags in your mouth so your cheeks don't look hollow. You wear a bright red wig. You wear massive dresses that act like a cage to hide your frail body. You order all mirrors in the palace to be smashed or covered. You live inside a permanent filter. You demand that all portraits paint you as young and beautiful even when you look like a walking corpse. You are the first victim of toxic beauty standards. You literally poisoned yourself to maintain your brand. The surveillance state paranoia sets in. You are old and lonely. Your government becomes a police state. Priests are hunted down and tortured. Your spies are everywhere. You are no longer the people's princess. You are a distant, terrifying icon. The ultimate irony. You refuse to name an heir because you didn't want to see your own funeral. So, who gets the throne when you die? James VI of Scotland. Who is he? He is the son of Mary, Queen of Scots, the son of the woman you executed. You spent your whole life defeating Mary. But in the end, Mary's bloodline took your throne and united the kingdoms. Mary lost the battle, but she won the genetic war. Irony is cruel. Chapter 5. The Final Act. In 1603, at age 69, you finally log off. You refuse to get into bed because you are afraid you won't wake up. You stand for hours until you collapse on the floor, finger in your mouth, staring at nothing. You die alone. No husband, no children. The Tudor dynasty, the family your father killed so many people to protect, dies with you. The verdict? So was it worth it? You sacrificed love, motherhood, and your own physical health. But look at the scoreboard. You took a bankrupt, divided nation and turned it into a superpower. You gave us Shakespeare. You gave us the colonization of America. You gave us the English language. You proved that a woman could play the man's game and win. You showed the world that you don't need a husband to be complete. You just need a navy, a good PR team, and the ruthlessness to do what needs to be done. The final question. If Elizabeth were alive today, who would she be? Would she be a ruthless Silicon Valley CEO, a populist politician with a cult following, or a toxic influencer selling dangerous beauty products? Do you think her sacrifice was bravery, or was it just a desperate survival mechanism? Drop a comment below. Let me know if you would survive in her court or if you would end up in the tower. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or the ghost of Elizabeth will haunt you with her lead poisoning class dismissed.